of that as well. So we are on pause diving into the game.
Oh, and
so
look how silky smooth it is.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, we were having some PowerPoint presentation issues last time, but everybody zooming into the lanes here. Really excited to see how this first wave goes because that was so defining into Buff Enjoyers just destroying G3 early. Currently in the perspective of the Valorant retirees here. Bebop already going to be efficient for a hook, goes for that ability first here. As across the map, everybody's just getting set up. Once again, duo lanes in the center of the screen on Greenwich and Broadway, I believe.
Now they're starting to make a bit of a move. We'll see how they do this. So far, it's just kept really even. Earlier in the other game, it was quite a difference there early on, so it's great to see that this one's being kept so close together. But we'll have to see how it ultimately does. Well, not much being done. No picks, just a lot of pokes trying to get off that early damage, trying to get those early souls. Haze and Toad just looking to see what they can do on their lanes. And one thing just to note really quickly, we're just seeing the two inside lanes being played out. That's something that hasn't been really fleshed out as much as what lanes are going to be meta to have duos on, or maybe even have a three-man stack for a lane. I would love to see maybe a strategy come out to where you have three people pushing up one lane to try and get an early Guardian, or have one that shifts over maybe at 2 or 3 minutes. But we'll see.
I do think that actually McGinnis is one of the characters that could hold their own versus a duo, just because you have those turrets to help you CS. That being said, definitely going to be risky here up against the bona fide killers on Valorant retiree side. One thing to note, though, is that in regards to these lanes, we already do have a pick. Valorant retirees were able to blow up Shiv. I don't think we were able to see that, but given I think a few people actually used their lane boosties to get to lane, that could actually hurt you a lot more in these situations where you just can't get back in fast enough. These towers start to take damage. Yamato really benefiting from that right off the bat.
Yeah, no, I think that was a bit of a mistake. But something to note really quickly, even though we saw Valorant retirees get that first kill, they're still down by K right now. We've actually seen the lead starting to develop here by fishing rods, and that could pay out very nicely as they just continue to grind away at these souls. It looks like they want to maybe try and take this fight. McGinnis is just tapping away over there at the Abrams, but ooh, big damage coming out.
Yeah, that's the thing Yep, the playing cards will take a while to build back up, though, so if you're able to dodge out of the way of it or just heal up from the damage, there is this downtime period where Wraith can't do a whole lot. But speaking of can't do a whole lot, Pocket's been getting consistently bullied throughout the course of this early fight, and right now they're going to have to take it all the way back to the base, still not breaking 1K, and that's where I think a lot of the deficit is for Valorant retirees.
Yeah, no, he just hasn't been able to really lane effectively against his opponent. Kelvin has been, I guess maybe his Arctic Beam is really messing with him in a big way. That's not allowing him really to take the fight how he wants to. Because, of course, he is an assassin character, so just pairing him up against someone like that, where you want that movability and that agility, is going to really be a detriment. So that could be screwing him over currently, because he still doesn't have even a second store item. But Forcemo and Krill still teasing away at it. Bebop incredibly low. Really needs to retreat back and go for a bit of a save. They're going to be able to find out the first kill, though. There it goes. Good response by the fishing rods. And that's going to be them starting to really gain a lead as well. They might be able to find out another McGinnis decently low. We see, of course, the Wraith trying to survive and manage the lane for the time being. Bebop retreats back to save over and look to maybe gain a bit extra health to play for the fight. And yeah, right now, it's just a lot of that.
Yeah, Shiv and Viscous are also worryingly low on the side of fishing rods, and it looks like, for the time being, Shiv is happy to just kind of play under the tower, absorb the waves that are coming in, given the fact that you have to see the reset coming out of the Amber Hand. One thing across the map that I think is really notable is the fact that you have this asymmetry of where heals are outside of just the healing minions that come through the lane. McGinnis, of course, can top off to sustain really, really well on the side of the fishing rods, while on the side of Valorant retirees, you're really looking at Mo and Krill and Abrams to drain tank some of these waves.
Yeah. Well, look at that. We're going to see some early damage there onto the pocket. Shiv is trying to play for that fight. It looks like we saw the pocket shift lanes, actually. Now facing up against Shiv is Kelvin. Yamato shifted over there to that lane to engage. And right now, it looks like Yamamoto's actually got some good upper hand momentum. He's actually pushed pretty far. Meanwhile, this duo fight right next to it is progressing quite steadily. We're seeing fishing rods still pulling away, and with that kill coming through, Bebop eliminated. I mean, things could start to spiral. We could see a snowball start to develop here by the fishing rods if they play their cards right.
Some of the people on Valorant Retirees are really peeking over the top of their lane partner's strengths versus fishing rods, which is nice, but I'm really looking at this massive hole in pocket, just unable to find farm. McGinnis gonna get picked off here, though, going to be a boon to the Valorant Retirees, as each one of these lanes is having individual kills come out for either side, looking very competitive. Finally, it looks like the souls are about to even out for both of these teams, or at least that little 1K gap that we saw from earlier in favor of the fishing rods. Going pretty well for them. Yamato, though, in a lot of trouble as Kelvin is going to come into the lane, tries to melee forward, manages to stay alive throughout all of that, and somehow will be able to walk it out for Valorant Retirees. Abrams has been picked off in time, though, which is a little bit less valuable for them.
Yeah, no, that's not brilliant. Still, they're keeping neck and neck with these souls. So just a K down here for the time being. You could see it start to even out a little bit farther even. So far, none of these initial Guardians have fallen, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of pressure coming out from the fishing rods. And a big stun and big kills. Nice little sweep over there on that lane. And just like that, we could see the fishing rods, or rather, the Valorant Retirees, start to really pull away and put out a lot of damage onto a Guardian. That's a huge pick to come through. There's no one shifting over to try and help out. They're still having to focus down their lanes. And as we do see the Abrams and co get back onto the site, it looks like they're going to focus it down. 3 men onto the lane.
This is looking fantastic for Valorant Retirees, turning on a dime off that very opportunistic bone krill into Bebop hold. And now the Bebop is the most fed character on the entire map, and we know how dangerous that can be. Unfortunately, Abrams is going to get picked in kind. This is a dynamic where we're going to have the winners and we're gonna have the losers all on Valorant Retirees side. Still pocket not gonna be super useful. Yamato, whenever they aren't able to go for fights and Kelvin is helping to protect fishing rods, is lane on that front, it's just falling behind in terms of farm, and that means that they're also going to have this big lag time before they're really able to spike and do a lot of damage. But I think the notable players that are able to instigate team fights and really put Valorant Retirees ahead are the ones that are still leading the game. Now, fishing rods have been able to bounce back in regards to the total souls, coming up about 3K in favor versus Retirees, but I think that's going to even out as both sides have about equivalent chances of knocking down the remaining lane Guardians.
Yeah, no, I mean, for the time being, it's being kept incredibly even. Still, they're up by a couple K souls. We could see that starting to close pretty quickly once we see these Guardians go down. Looks like, I don't say good attempt at it, but lose a lot of health there off the back of it. Still, they're just trying to push up the lane a little bit more. We do see reinforcements coming in to fight up against the Kelvin and co, but it looks like Shiv is having a bit of issues over there with Haze. Look at that. Look at the minimap right now. Big fight going on. First kill comes through. That's going to be Jesha's eliminated along with Zhao. And it looks like the Haze is making light work of them. This duo is absolutely shredding. Now making their way forward. They're trying to play it up a little bit more with the Pocket. Pocket joining them to try and get off more damage, but it looks like we'll see a successful escape.
Oh, that was a heartbreaking battle on Broadway there, where fishing rods, I believe, down a person at the start of the fight, were able to stabilize off the back of a massive bullet dance. And we've seen how that is a game-changing ultimate, not only in this round, but the matchup between Buff Enjoyers and G3 from earlier as well. That basically put the game away in favor of Buff Enjoyers. And now, at a full 6K above anybody on Valorant Retirees side, this is the first time I'm going to confidently say fishing rods have the upper hand and a real clear path to victory.
Yeah, no, they really do. And as we see a Guardian about to fall, looks like reinforcements will come in the form of Bebop there. Last moment to try install that out. Doesn't look like it'll work, though. Killed by the Haze, and man, Bebop's gone as well. He got them decently low, but Shiv surviving another day. It might fall just due to the fact that his health got too low, but no, looks like he'll be okay.
This is one of the stickiest macro portions of the game. Before the mid-boss comes out, where one of the teams is starting to lag behind, you feel obligated to continue to protect your walkers or any remaining lane Guardians, and in those cases, you could just hemorrhage so many souls, because fishing rods is always going to want to take those fights now, because their characters are beginning to hit those first power spikes in the game. Shoulder check going to knock away the Warden, who will be able to get the CC down. It's a 2v1 for the time being. Here comes Yamato approaching from the far side, but unfortunately, the tank is already taken down. Haze might be in trouble. Gets the sleep off at the last second. Yamato continuing to march forward, tossing out those knives, but Haze around the corner is able to juke them, and now the Yamato is in a dangerous position as once again we got a battle on Broadway. That's going to be the Wraith going down early in this one. Bebop going to follow. Fishing rods yet again able to dance on the knife's edge and come out on top.
Yeah, no, I think that this is about to start getting really uneven. We see a bit of a lead developing, about 9k souls here for the time being, and I think that's about to go even further. Oh man, Valorant retirees might be in a world of hurt here in just a few seconds if they don't play their cards right. Someone needs to go and grab themselves that urn to possibly really develop things. It looks like a bit of resistance is coming out. McGinnis in a fight right now with Yamato isn't going to be able to pan out for too terribly much. We're just going to go ahead and get off a couple extra souls with the neutral creeps, but it looks like they're not going to overplay that fight just yet, but it looks like they're lying in wait to see who grabs the soul urn.
This is the mid to high elo tipping point that I was mentioning earlier here, Dugade, where all of a sudden you see a 10k gold gap develop because fishing rods are able to exploit that last little bit of Valorant retirees trying to scrabble back a lead. Now they're going to start playing from behind and they have a different philosophy on how to approach the game, but it may be too little too late. They gave up too much free gold, and now look at this. Yamato picked off by the Haze at half health, having to run away. Abrams going to be the first to fall in this fight around the mid boss though, and this could be the defining battle of the game. McGinnis happily able to take this high ground and continue to poke away at multiple members of Valorant retirees. It is total space control right now for fishing rods as Haze is going to go hunting, trying to find the Yamato, who's now been forced back towards the base, and sweeping over from Broadway to Greenwich like fishing rods are doing. They're able to get full pushes in both of these lanes with their minions, and from there they have a real good shot at taking that Eldritch Horror in the middle of the map.
Yeah, no, they will here in a moment. Of course, urn is delivered. That's by Tia, able to find out that one pretty nicely. That's gonna be quite a bit of extra souls. Man, McGinnis was all the way up 5k. I'm surprised he doesn't just grind up and try and get up towards that 6.3 mark to get a top tier item, but it doesn't look like she'll do that. For the time being, they're able to at least keep it to a 9k soul gap. They're keeping it decently close. We need to see the Valorant retirees maybe try and find themselves an urn. Really, what could turn things around if they play their cards right is maybe finding the mid-boss fight. If they're able to find a couple of kills there onto the fishing rods, maybe taking out Haze, McGinnis, Viscous, just finding a couple of those, they could be able to start to pull things around. And as Kelvin falls, that's a good opener. Maybe they can follow that up. Doesn't look like it. Abrams a bit too invested into that engagement, eliminated away. Well, how's the respawns come through? There's still no chance at this.
Well, the good news about that 1v1 trade is that Abrams is inevitably going to die that far up, but that was, I believe, a very lopsided fight in favor of fishing rods, and still Kelvin falls there. So whenever you can get those trades from behind, I think that you're happy about that. It is going to stop fishing rods from fully leveraging push advantages across the map to go for things like the mid boss, but now Yamato in a lot of trouble, going to pop the ultimate, has the invincibility for just a little bit, but Viscous right on top of them alongside the Shiv, and now it's just a question of who's going to be the one picking up the souls. Hops over the wall, Kelvin raining down hellfire from above, or hell ice from above, I should say, and yeah, that is going to be a dead assassin. Fishing rods may be able to capitalize on this. They do have a 5-man shove going in Greenwich right now. Wraith going to be able to absorb that. Walker not taken down just yet, and so that means this mid boss is a little bit dicey. I'm not going to lie. I think that it's the right call, but fishing rods are in a little bit of a coin flip scenario here. It looks like for the time being, Valorant retirees are going to respect it though.
Oh, no, they're not going for it. They're just grinding the creeps.
They're just above.
Yeah, no, I thought they might be going for it. I thought that was a little bit foolhardy. I was like, that's very easily gankable. I mean, we could see a big team fight go down there very quickly. I mean, if they can find out 1 or 2 picks on the side of Valorant retirees, we could start to see it start to snowball a little bit more.
Well, there's one pick right there. Make it 2 and 3. Oh, that's going to be it. Heartbreaking stuff, Dugade. I think that Valorant retirees made the right call, trying to centralize, trying to focus their forces upon denying fishing rods these big buffs like the mid boss, and now in kind they are just going to be fed to the belly of the beast. Fishing rods in a confident position now to either reset, farm up, and get everything that they want on the map for one more favorable team fighter. They could accelerate the pace of the game and try to go for the mid boss. It looks like it will be the former option here, and while Shiv did fall during that engagement, what we are seeing is still a persisting gold gap in their favor.
Yeah, no, it's starting to really shift over, but we'll have to see what ultimately happens as this side of Valorant retirees are just going to be going ahead and maybe looking for a couple of extra souls to work with. Still, no one making the attempt at the mid-boss. It felt like they might have there earlier, but after they got the couple of picks to reset the team a bit, but just not the case. I suppose they were afraid that, hey, if someone just drops in and steals this successfully, things could start to fall apart, but for the time being, it's just going to be held down. No one's going to be overdoing it. And we're going to be looking for, well, let's like fishing rods. to maybe start carrying this away. Still a gap of 9k souls. That's one thing to speak about, I suppose, is at least Valorant are able to keep it at a decent pace. Oh,
this is good. Pick onto Shiv. And that's going to be Mo and Krill able to farm up a little bit more of that max health percentage off finishing that ultimate. So fishing rods here need to respect one big thing that is still good for Valorant retirees, which is the fact that even though they are behind, they're doing a good job controlling wave pushes. They aren't getting jammed all the way into their walkers. Still all 4 of those remain up, and what that means is that you're bottlenecking fishing rods' ability to go for flex slots as well. But this could just be the happy times that could quickly fade away with one big misstep here. And while I do think fishing rods are the ones making the most
a bit of a fight going on.
Yeah, Valorant retirees can really fall apart here if they aren't careful, and that includes this push onto Greenwich right now. It's going to be 4 men for fishing rods attempting to get through this choke point here.
Oh, no.
And Bebop already seeing their partner fall in the form of the pocket going down will need to use every last little bit of damage from this walker if they want to try to stay alive here. It looks like fishing rods are happy with that kill. They are going to back off just a little bit here, respecting the Bebop ultimate that is being fired straight down this bridge. But there goes the walker, and that is opening up more space once again for fishing rods to just march across the map with impunity.
Yeah, no, as we do see them starting to progress forward, a couple of shots hitting, and look at this, we could see a pick come through, but oh no, Abrams about getting ganked out there.
Will be ultimately traded back, but Kelvin fell. And so once again, fishing rods are unable to find a favorable fight, even up so much gold. And so they're trying to hold things in stasis right now, but Valorant retirees are slowly slipping on the point of farm, just unable to get up to those walkers. Do have a pause coming out from Quan of fishing rods here, and I think it may just be some tech issues. Hopefully get right back online.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to see the, I think we're seeing the mid call come through from Shiv.
I definitely could see that right now. Look at that 4-man push that you have fishing rods on, jamming Broadway. Once that walker is taken and Valorant retirees are going to have to absorb all those waves coming onto that side of the map, fishing rods, once again, with that mid dominance, are going to be able to either needle away further at Valorant retirees, but I just don't think they care that much about the sidewalkers at this point in time. They want the mid boss first and foremost.
Yeah, no, here we go. They're going for mid boss. That was the call. Well, maybe we'll see as soon as Valorant retirees hears about it. Maybe they'll send someone in. I don't know how progressed the ult is for Wraith, but she could be able to block this entirely if she plays her cards right. But as it does fall, is the Wraith anywhere nearby? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, Bebop gonna come just a little bit too late. Yamato trying to flank, but I think that just means that they're getting a dead Yamato on top of the Rejuvenator here for fishing rods. And they all managed to just walk it back out towards that Broadway. Kelvin, on a little bit of a dangerous push alone on Greenwich here, will probably just be able to get the safety given his mobility. Right now, it's Yamato getting caught out, like I was talking about, in the middle of multiple people. It's just a question of who are you putting the gold on, really? McGinnis wall here to block off any last escape. And now this may be a forced fight. Good stuff. Viscous already in goo ball form, looking to go forward and disrupt more members of Valorant retirees. That's 2 more falling in kind. Great stuff out of fishing rods. And given the fact that this is right off the back of getting the Rejuvenator, this is a massively empowered push, going to take down at least these 2 lane and base Guardians, if not more.
Yeah, no, it looks like this could start to really fall apart here in just a moment as we do see them progressing forward. A lot of damage going down. Of course, now I have to say, we've seen the fishing rods really start to pull away. We're at 18 minutes into this game. It's been a bit more competitive, but at this point, the fishing rods, they have the chance to really pull away with things. This is where they have to do it as well. For the time being, they're going to reset. They're going to respect the side of Valorant retirees. They know the respawns are up, so just going ahead, falling back and looking to re-engage into another fight and maybe find a team wipe and find out 3 is going to be the right name of the game here for the time being, while we do see a little bit of grinding occurring.
Yep, I like the fact that there's still enough presence on Valorant retirees map to at least get a few of these camps across the map here to stay about the same place they've been for a while now, Dugade, regarding the souls, but certainly the count is massively favoring the fishing rods at this point, and I do think that right now it's just a matter of a singular mistake or even a forced fight putting it away. Big hook here, planted right on top of Kelvin. Bebop is low. Kelvin able to use all the stamina bars to get to safety. And now they got Haze by their side, I believe. So that's just going to be Valorant retirees kind of slapping them and say, dang it, we got to find another pick. But right now...
Yeah, no, I thought for a second there maybe they were looking to try and maybe thought he was about to get ganked. I don't really know why he would have fallen back there as quickly as he did. But it does look like the team fight's about to progress here. Take a look at this. Initiator going to be coming on through. That's going to block him up, not allowed to escape, and that's a huge gank. We're going to see Mo and Krill fall there immediately. Zal just eliminated out by Sia, the McGinnis, able to trap him on off, and I think that's going to be the call for Valorant retirees to maybe fall off that angle. They know that they're coming for him. It looks like the team fight's about to begin. They're trying to retreat past the base Guardians, but I don't know if they're going to be able to. Stun's coming through, and another kill comes out. Bebop eliminated, and they're just pushing past it, man. They don't care. They're just going for the shrines. That's ridiculous. No base Guardians dead, but they're pushing it as hard as they can.
That is an absurd call by fishing rods, and the fact it pays dividends is mind-blowing. Disrespecting the base Guardians, running on in there, picking off everybody except for Abrams off the back of a simple Mo and Krill pick from McGinnis wall, and now the patron is in trouble, transformed into its weakened state here. Fishing rods are looking to put this game away.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is looking about over. They go ahead, eliminate the phase 1 of the patron. They know that the respawns are coming through, and they don't want to deal with that. And so they'll just go ahead, fall back. I mean, Haze has got 13k souls to work with over here. She's going to get Ricochet and Leech and all whatever she wants. So, I mean, from here on out, we're going to see some extremely built characters out of fishing rods, and I don't see this in any sensible way going the way of Valorant retirees. It's 22k to 82.
This is one of those classic sit there, turtle, pray maybe you take this to 50 minutes, and at that point the death timers are so long that one mistake can bring you back into the promised land. But I highly doubt that that's going to happen. Fishing rods having a well-oiled machine, so coordinated, and the fact that they have the game sense to go for that last absurd fight, Dugade, gives me the confidence to say that they're about to put this one away, either with a respawning mid-boss or just through finding another opportunistic pick off the back of McGinnis wall, or Haze just melting everybody with the massive souls lead that they have. Warden calling people out. It's just a perfect way in which that they could knock out Valorant retirees in an instant.
Well, I mean, just look at what the buys are here. Yamato up to third tier, but nowhere near fourth. They just haven't been able to buy things up, man. Pocket, nothing to really work with at this stage of the game. And yeah, no, we're going to see this about to get closed out. They're just going to take this team fight in a very hazardous way. The shots are ringing through with a lot of characters falling all at once. We did see the Drake come through. And hey, it looks like Valorant retirees were at least able to do a little bit of something. That's going to stall things out. Leaves it down into a 4v2. But very quickly, Yamato, last man standing. The base Guardians really saving her height for the time being. And the wall, a little bit too late, but the Guardians eventually start to fall along with Lucky. And there we go. That should be it. I don't expect anything else to happen here. They're on to the patron. 8 seconds for the next spawn, and it's not going to be able to finish things out. That's it. Nicely done by the side of the fishing rods. They do it cleanly. 1